but also by the accuracy of the information that's in your head. God says through his prophet Hosea, the reason why my people are destroyed is because they have a lack of knowledge. That's why I love this church. Anybody here beside me love this church? I love this church because this church and churches like this are essential for those of us who don't just want to be alive, but we want to thrive in our life. Well, this church, somebody say this church. This church is an empowering church where you learn how to live out your redemptive potential given by God. You learn how to live a life where you don't just exist, but you thrive. Somebody say amen. And the people in this church are wrapped up in the nature of Christ to the point where the Nicodemuses in your life will come to you, maybe not by day, maybe they come by night. They come to you and they'll tell you, I have prestige, I have influence, I have income, but you folk in Love in Action got something I'm jealous of. Lord have mercy. And I want what you have. Can you share with me what makes you so different? Come on, y'all got to embrace that now. You got to embrace it. Tell your neighbor, I love my church. I love it. Because in this church, we all leave here inspired, equipped, and educated, and we become a weapon of mass destruction against the enemy. Because Satan has been building his kingdom all over this land. But we come here to serve notice on the devil and say, Satan, we gonna tear your kingdom down. Come on, tell somebody, I love this church. I love it. That's why, watch this, y'all. That's why the enemy always, every Sunday morning, try to make you late for praise and worship. Y'all don't want to hear me right now. The enemy always suggests things to you, and you just embrace whatever he suggests. You wake up feeling good and strong, take your shower and all that, but the enemy come and tell you, you know you're tired. And all of a sudden your spirit just boom. Because he suggested something to you that you embrace. Y'all ain't gonna help me in here this morning. He suggested something that you embrace because he knows that watch this, he knows that during praise and worship, there's gonna be a release in that. Where my praise team at? He knows that in praise and worship, there's gonna be a release in the house that destroys yours. Tell somebody, tell them I got to get to praise and worship. I got to. But here's what we've done. Here's what we've done. When I say we, I'm talking about the church. We've taught you how to pray. We've taught you how to praise. We taught you how to give. We taught you how to serve. A few weeks ago, we even taught you how to fight. But there's yet one thing we've not taught you very well. We've not taught you how to suffer. Lord have mercy. Because any little thing that happens, Lord help me in here this morning. We ain't taught you how to suffer because any little thing that happens, let somebody look at you the wrong way. You ready to go to another church. We've not taught you how. Let me tell you why that's important. Because we've not been taught how to suffer. The reason suffering is important is because when you don't know how to suffer, you don't build up the resilience to withstand the inevitable obstacles that's going to come your way. So you have to understand that once you give your life to Christ, you have moved from a relationship with him as creature and creator to father and son, or father and daughter. You're no longer just a creator creature related to a creator. You are a son or a daughter related to a father. So not only did you get salvation, you got a family. But not only did you get a family, you also got an enemy. Lord, have mercy today. You also got an enemy who's determined to make this life a living hell for you. Determined to make this life a living hell for you. So what do you do when trouble does come? You manage it. There are three categories of trouble that I've already laid out, but I want to name them for you again. And we're going to dissect them one by one. Three categories of trouble that everybody will face at one time or another, or you may be facing it right now. But the three categories are a storm. Everybody say a storm. A thorn. Everybody say a thorn. Everybody say a cross. And you've got to be able to discern which is which. Because you can't just go into it and call it all trouble, because you got to identify which one you're in order to know how to handle your situation. Somebody say amen to that. I can't manage my storm like it's a thorn. And I can't treat my storm like it's a cross. And I can't treat my cross like it's a thorn. I've got to know which one is which so I can navigate through whichever one I'm in. Does that make sense, everybody? Let's deal with the storm. Everybody say storm. Storm is a temporary season of inconvenience that the enemy wants to use to get you to act impulsively. It's a temporary season of inconvenience that the enemy uses to get you to just act. To act impulsively. Because your reaction to your storm can cause you to destroy your own self when the storm itself can't hurt you. Lord, let me say it again. Your reaction to the storm you're in, you're not the storm. Your reaction, your impulsive, your response to the storm can make you hurt yourself when the storm itself can't hurt you. Here's what you got to know about the storm. A storm is temporary. It's temporary. Touch your neighbor and say, this too shall pass. Even though it's aggravating, inconvenient, and problematic, the consolation that we have when we're in a storm is that it ain't going to be like this always. The consolation we have in the storm is that on the other side of the dark cloud, the sun going to shine again. Somebody say amen to that. A storm is a temporary season of inconvenience that the enemy wants to use to get you to act impulsively, because he knows that the storm itself can't hurt you, but you sure can hurt yourself. Here's the way Matthew describes it, y'all. Matthew remembers this trip that started out as a cruise ship, as a cruise trip, where they were going to eat fish and caviar and all that. Started out that way. And the storm, the Bible says, a great storm, in the way it's translated to us to English, it says a great storm arose on the sea and covered the boat. Mark writes it as well. Matthew chooses his terminology carefully in order to describe the storm. Now, we don't get it in English. A lot of things in our, when it comes over to English, it gets lost in translation. But Matthew takes out his Greek thesaurus and begins to stroll down the thesaurus to find the right word to describe this storm. He bypasses things like spring shower and a downpour and a drenching. He bypasses all of those words and he runs upon, here's the real word, he runs upon the word and he comes to the word seismos. Everybody say seismos. That's a Greek word for earthquake. We even have an English word that comes from that word, seismograph. You know, the instrument we use to measure the strength of an earthquake. So the word that Matthew chooses to describe what happens is an earthquake, a shaking happened to us. Now they were out on the sea, and it happened all of the, anybody ever had something happen all of a sudden? This storm happened all of a sudden. They didn't have time to plan for it. This storm happened all of a sudden. It sprang on them like a lion waiting for a deer hiding in the tall grass. This was a sudden storm. Look at the progression. Jesus got in the boat. His disciples went with him in the boat. A great storm was the next phrase that we hear. If that ain't bad enough, y'all, Scripture goes on to say, when the storm hit, Jesus was asleep. And that's a scene to behold. It's a sight for sore eyes. The disciples are screaming and Jesus is dreaming. The thunder is roaring. Jesus is snoring. How can you sleep on a roller coaster ride? Well, Mark says that he was asleep in the stern of the ship. He says not just, it wasn't that he just dozed off. You know how you can get so sleepy where your head be about to fall off. It just wasn't that. It says Jesus got a pillow and laid down. In other words, he slept on purpose. Knowing that they get ready to go into a storm, Jesus goes to take a nap. So here's the question that they ask. While they're in the middle of what they're going through, they ask this question. Don't you even care that we're about to die? They didn't ask him about his strength. Can you handle this? They didn't ask him about his knowledge. Do you know what you're going through? They challenged his character. Don't you even care that we're going through what we're going through? Don't you even care? Why? So, Trail, why did they look at his resume? Why didn't they just go back and look at what he had done in the past? They had seen him heal many people over and over again. They'd seen him deliver and heal. Peter's own mother-in-law was sick and Jesus healed. Why didn't they check out what he'd done in the past? They'd been here before. But trouble has a way of making you forget your past victories. Because trouble is present right now. And get this, y'all, they wouldn't even be in this situation had Jesus not told them to get in the boat. I'm here because I'm being obedient. Lord, help me here today. I'm here because I'm obeying. If I'm here out of obedience to you, my heart wouldn't hurt if you Everybody else is wigging out. Everybody else is upset. They say, Master, don't you even care? They assume that if you are concerned about me the way I think you are concerned about me, you would not seemingly ignore me when I'm in trouble. They assume that there's no way you can love me and see me going through what I'm going through. They assume that his inactivity would never happen to cause them any inconvenience. God, you can't love me and see me going through what I'm going through and you not do anything about it. Because if you love me, you're going to do something. They assume that God's love is always tied to his activity. Don't you care that we're perishing? Because you can't care and not do something. I'm going to come get you in a minute. You can't care and not do something. But here's what you got to know about God right now. And I've told you this before, but you got to know this about God. And that is that God's actions or God's inactivity are always intentional. When he's doing something, he's doing it on purpose. When he's not doing something, he's not doing something on purpose. Lord have mercy. Because if God is not working on the storm around me, he's working on the storm in me. If he's not fixing what's on the outside of me, he's fixing what's on the inside of me. And oftentimes when he's working on me, I'm impatient because I want to see things outside of me change when God wants to see something in me change. So here's what you got to know. Even when he's doing nothing, he's doing something. So Jesus wakes up and he speaks to the storm. The storm comes. And he looks at the disciples and asks them, where's your faith? Wait a minute, y'all. How many of us would be in that situation? Storm, water filling up our boats. We not go into a panic or a frenzy, worry about our lives. The disciples did what I think comes natural. But Jesus challenged them walking in the natural. And said, you should have stepped out of you into your faith and believed that when I said we're going to the other side, regardless of how bad the weather gets, we're going to the other side. Where's your faith? Touch your neighbor and ask your neighbor, where's your faith? Because their reaction to the storm nullified the power of their faith. So how you behave determines what you receive. See, it's not enough to say, I believe God. That has to be your expression. Does that make sense? That has to be your expression. It is our tendency to look at the storm that's attacking the boat as opposed to seeing who's in the boat with us. Jesus says, I understand you panicking if I wasn't in the boat, but since I'm here, where's your faith? Everybody say Thorn. Second area I want to look at is thorns. Thorns are different from storms because storms are temporary. Can y'all say that? Say storms are temporary. Watch this. Thorns, on the other hand, are permanent. Lord have mercy. Thorns is the thing you are stuck with. Paul says in 2 Corinthians 12, Paul says, because of the abundance of revelation given to me, there was given me a thorn in the flesh, a messenger of Satan sent to buffet me. He says, look, Paul says, concerning the thorn, he says, I prayed for God to move it 3 times. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. And the 3rd time I prayed, God finally spoke to me. And God said, my grace is sufficient. See, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to. I want God to move this thing. Lord, help me today. I need God. I don't need grace. I need this out of my way. I wish I had some real folk in the house today. This thing is bothering me. I need it out of my way. God said, no, my grace is sufficient. You don't understand. This thing is buffeting me. That means it strikes over and over and over and over and over. Wait. And over and over and over. Wait. And over and over and over. This thorn keeps on bothering me, God. It's killing me. It's getting on my nerve. I go to work and it's there. I come home and it's there. I come to church and it's there. A thorn is an inconvenience assigned by the adversary that's intended to agitate and aggravate us to the degree that we abandon our mission. God help me here today. He wants to get you so tired of being hit that you give up on life, that you give up on everything that's coming your way, and you say, I can't take it no more. You ask God to move it. And God says, no, I ain't going to move it. But I'm going to give you the grace to handle it. He says, my grace is sufficient. I won't alter it. But Paul, I'm going to endow you with the enablement to endure what I will not alter. My grace is going to be so sufficient in your life, watch this, that you're not going to even want me to move. I know. That's how sufficient God says. Look, God says, I'm going to give you so much grace to handle that thing that folk going to have to remind you that it's still there. All right. Lord, help me here today. I ain't going to move it, but you ain't going to notice it. God help me. See, God will get you to a point where folk who used to get on your nerve. God said, I ain't going to move them So the question is he just God of your good times? Or is he the God that can rule your life even when you're captive by something that you cannot correct? The commonality that every one of us have in this room, all of us share, is that we are captive by something. It's a messenger of Satan. God says, Satan sent it. I allowed it. You need it. So I'm going to use it. Let me say that again. God says about your thorn, Satan sent it. I allowed it. You need it. So I'm going to use it. Let me say it again so we're all on the same page. Here's what God says about your thorn. He says, Satan sent your thorn. I allowed the thorn because you needed the thorn. Now I'm going to use the thorn. Okay, here it is. Make it plain. Paul is saying about the thorn. Here's what he's saying. Paul is saying, things have never been worse for me. God says about the thorn, you've never been better for me. Paul is saying, I've never hurt this much before in my life. God is saying, you've never prayed this much before in your life. Paul is saying, I've never been as aggravated and as agitated before in my life. God is saying, you've never cried out to me this way before in your life. Paul says, I've never been so lonely in all the days of my life. God says, you've never spent this much time with me ever in your life. You've never praised me as much as you're praising me right now. You've never worshiped me as much as you worship. You never called, why would I lose the thorn out of your life when I got your attention? So I'm going to leave it right there. Till you get to the point where you say it was good for me. That I went through what I went through. It was good for me. That I had to endure what I had to endure. If you're bold enough, if you ain't too scared, would you praise God for your thorn right now? You ain't never did that before in your whole life. But God has purpose in your thorn. See, if some of us didn't have a thorn, Lord have mercy, some of us need some more thorns. But if some of us didn't have a thorn, we'd be too big-headed. Paul said, because of the revelation that was given to me, because God downloaded so much in me, God put this thorn in my life to keep me humble. So, let me hurry. So I got my storm. I got my thorn. Now I got to take up my cross. Luke 9:23. I didn't give that scripture, did I? Luke 9:23 says, then he said to them, I think I did. Then he said to them all, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny himself, take up their cross, and follow me. Notice he didn't say take up the cross. He says you got to take up your own cross. This is a personal thing. Whoever wants to follow me must deny themselves, watch, and abandon their own preference. Deny yourself from interfering with what God has for you and embrace God's plan and abandon your own plan. Lord help me here today. See, we romanticize God's purpose to the degree that we assume that God's purpose will always match our to get away from Elton. But something kept pulling me back to Elton. I didn't want to buy that house over there on 848 Academy Drive. I didn't want to do it. But God brought the price down so low that I had to get the house. Didn't want to live in Elton. Saw myself in a big city, pastoring mega church. That's what I saw. But God kept pulling me back this way. It wasn't my preference, but it is my purpose. So God wants to move you away from what you prefer and move you into his purpose. Watch this. Jesus is in the garden praying, Father, if there be any other way for us to do this, he's about to die. I'm paraphrasing if you don't mind. Jesus is about to die. And Jesus says to God, now Jesus knows why he is, Sister Hubbard. He knows why he came. He knows he came to die. He knows that. But Jesus goes to God and he says, God, if there's any other way, if we can figure this out where I don't have to do this cross thing, if we can come up with another way to do this, God, let's come up with another way because I don't think I want to go through with this. That's what Jesus said, y'all. Jesus prayed that prayer. He said to God, I know we had a plan when I came, but we got to talk about this. But at the end of his prayer, he said, watch, this is important, don't miss it. At the end of his prayer, he said, nevertheless, watch this, not my will, but your will be done. Don't miss it. He said, not my will, but your will be done. Watch this. Jesus' will was different from God's will. Oh, have mercy. He says, God, don't do what I want to do. My will is to find another way. Watch, but he said, don't do what I want to do. Let your will be done through me. I'm so glad that Jesus was so human that he had a will different from God's will. And he was bold enough to show it to us. I'm glad he showed me the fact that he didn't want to do it God's way. He said, not my will, but thy will be done. Watch this. And Jesus' will never changed. He never wanted to go to the cross. His will never changed. He simply lowered his will and uplifted the will of God. Oh, y'all ain't hear me today. You are waiting for your will to change. God says, your will ain't going to change. That's what makes you a cross. That's what, listen, if your will change, it ain't no cross. His will changed so dramatically. Watch this. Jesus' will changed so dramatically that, watch this, when he goes away from the three disciples to pray. And he goes away and comes back and they are sleeping. And he's so hurt by the fact that they didn't care enough to stay awake with him. Because of what he was going through. He was so hurt by that. He woke him up and said, what are you guys doing sleeping? Let's do this again. Went back, prayed again. Came back. They sleep again. See, watch this. Jesus going to pray wasn't about the disciples. It was about him. Right. See, we go and we're going to pray for the disciples. God, they don't care about me. God, they fall asleep on me. Do something to them, God. But God ain't working on the storm outside of Jesus. God's working on the storm in Jesus. To the point to where when Jesus goes back a third time, God said, okay, I think I can fix you now. Jesus goes back to those same disciples, and guess what they're doing when they go back the third time? They sleep again. Guess whose attitude changed? The disciples' attitude didn't change. Those boys still sleep. Jesus said to them, y'all sleep on. I'm all right now. I'm all right now. I thought I needed you before, but I don't need you now. I thought I needed you to walk with me through this, but I don't need you to walk with me through this. I thought choose to carry because we value the cause of Christ more than we value our own convenience. We choose to carry this. Can I tell you this? Whenever you tell your story to somebody, don't tell your story looking for anybody's pity. Don't look for pity from your story. Look for principle from your story. Principle is the established law or the established thing that my story is designed to teach me. So in other words, don't look to be rewarded by the pity of people. Be rewarded by the lessons you learned going through what you had to go through. God, I'm preaching better than y'all actually here today. Cross. In front of you is your destiny, your desired end. Never be in too big a hurry to get to your end. You got too much life to live before you finish and sit back in your accomplishment. Along the way, you're going to encounter a storm. Several, in fact. You're going to encounter a thorn. You're going to encounter a cross. While you're encountering those two things, you must resist the urge. That's what it is. It's an urge. Truth be told, every champion feels the urge. Every fighter feels the urge. Every runner feels the urge. Every winner feels the urge. The urge to quit. I don't know who I'm talking to today, but God sent me here to tell somebody, don't give up on your dream. Yeah, you in the low element. Ain't much happening here. But don't give up on your dream. I don't care if you don't have the money. I don't care if you don't have the family support. I don't care if you don't have the background. I don't care if you don't have the friends with you. Don't you dare give up on your dream. I want you to look at your neighbor now and tell them, don't give up on your dream. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know what happens when you give up on your dream? When you give up on your dream, you start having nightmares. Come on, find somebody else, tell them, don't give up on your dream. It might take you twice as long, but don't give up. You might have to take the same class twice, but don't give up. Don't you dare quit on you. And regardless of what it is you're endeavoring to accomplish, while you're going through it, what you got to know is right now you make a difference. with every mistake that you made, you still make a difference. As tired as you are, you still make a difference. As old as you are, you still make a difference. And you must learn how to weather your storm, how to grace out your thorn, and how to bear your cross. You must learn that. I want you to touch your neighbor right now and tell them you make a difference. You make a difference. You make a difference. Just keep on doing the best you can with what you have. That's what we do, don't we? We do the best we can with what we do. Don't we do that? We do the best we can with what we have. And get this. You might not ever, with you doing the best you can with what you have, you might not ever be the first one to finish. You might not ever be recognized. You might not ever get appreciated on the level of your work. But you just keep on doing what you're doing. And for a lot of us, hear me now, for a lot of us, the only reward we see right now is that we come through and we make it to the next day. That's right. But you made it. You survived yesterday. You embraced today. And I thank God that the Bible says that his mercies are new every morning. Help me now. Things get so hard sometimes. Our only solace, our only strength is the fact that we come in here. Listen, here's where some of us get. Here's why we're important to one another, because we come in here, and a lot of times the only thing that keeps us going is for us to look at one another, or for somebody in this room to come and embrace me, look me in the eye, and tell me, you're going to be all right. Sometimes those simple words, you might not ever realize it, but those simple words that you shared with me gets me through the night to see the morning light. You're going to be all right. I need everybody to stand up right here, right now. I want you to go find 7 people, look at me in the eye, tell them, you're going to be all right. Come on, do it. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. all right? What do you mean I'm going to be all right? Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I don't even want to get out of bed. Don't feel like brushing the teeth. Don't feel like washing my face. God, don't you even care? Don't you even care that I'm going through what I'm going through? Don't you even care? God says, look at my resume. Look at my resume. Don't act like you ain't been here before. Look at my resume. I lost a lot of stuff. I lost some friends. Lost some loved ones. Lost some money. Lost some time. Lost some energy. But I never lost my faith. Don't lose your faith. Whatever you do, you keep holding on to God. You keep holding on to God. The storm gonna come. But you keep holding on to God. What did I tell you about the storm? It's temporary. Keep holding on to God. Your thorn is going to get more intense. What I tell you about your thorn is permanent. It ain't going nowhere. But God's going to grace you to be able to handle that thorn. What I tell you about the cross is inconvenient. You got to deny your will for His. But here's what you got to know about the cross. After you've endured the cross, you're going to be rewarded with your crown. Hallelujah, Lord. And you're going to step into who God crowned you to be. God has equipped you to handle everything that comes your way. Whether it be a storm, a thorn, or a cross. God has prepared you to handle either one. To endure every trial that comes your way. Let God finish His work in you. Let Him finish molding and making